Welcome back, guys. It is Dr. Tom here. Today we are talking all about the best ways to sleep. And when we break this down, there's three main positions. One of them is extremely bad, one of them is a lot better than the other, and the other, there's ways we can get around sleeping in that position. So we're going to break that down today. This is for those who have lower back pain or neck pain that may be aggravated when they sleep. So if this is you, today's session is going to be amazing. So today I'm going to invite my wife in. She's going to be the model for today, and that's going to help give you guys a clearer picture on the best ways to set up your sleeping position. So to break this down, all we're trying to achieve when we sleep is create a neutral spine. And when we look at our spine, this is a diagram just of our lower spine. We want this back part, if we're looking back to front, we want this to be completely straight. And when we flip this on the side, we've got normal spinal curves that we go through the neck. We call this a lordotic curve. Through the mid-back, it's a kyphotic curve, and then back into a lordotic through the lower back. So it's almost like an S shape. And we want this spine to stay as close to this as possible when we sleep. Okay guys, so let's get into it. We're gonna start off with tummy sleeping. Okay guys, so sleeping on the belly, as you can see, if we wanna breathe, we're human beings, we need to rotate the head. So when we talk about a neutral spine, we are already out of that position. As you can see here, we are fully rotated through the neck. We've got a little bit of extension in the neck as well. As we go down through the spine here, the thoracic isn't too bad, but what we can start to see with a lot of people, we can start to get a little hypolordosis as well. So a little bit more curve through the lower back. This personally is my most hated position for patients to be sleeping in. So a lot of people who try to transition onto their sides will find themselves back on their belly as soon as they fall asleep. So what you can do here is under the front arm, lock a pillow in. Also, a pillow behind your back, so you're not gonna roll either way. So the biggest, most important one is the pillow under this front arm here. Okay guys, so we've established that tummy sleeping is the worst. Try to avoid it as much as possible if you can. So we're now going to get Lakey on her back. Back sleeping, I don't mind it too much. It isn't my favorite, but if we can do a few little modifications here, back sleeping isn't always the worst. So back sleepers with high pillows. So as you can see here, Lakey's neck is getting pushed forward. So we're going out of that neutral spine once again. If we take the top pillow out and her neck drops down, we're reaching a little bit more of a neutral spine here. Now, the other thing we can do, and with technology improving all the time, we have what we call ergonomic pillows out there that have a natural cervical curve through it. This one here has a little curve. It almost looks like a little wave through the pillow. And let that curve go right in the middle of your neck, so the cervical spine. And as you can see here, her neck is reaching a lot more of a neutral spine. When we go down and we look at her lower back, if Lakey just puts her hands on her chest and we look at this lower back, we can see that it's not completely lifting off, but there is what we call more of a lordosis starting to form. And why does this happen? The number one reason is the legs. So as you straighten your legs out and the psoas engages, this forms that spine to start to lift. And if you're laying on your back all night long, guess what? You're gonna wake up in the morning and you'll have that sort of pinching or pulling sensation through your lower back. So how can we improve or achieve a better sleeping position? Simply by putting a pillow or two under your knees. So you'll see here, if Flake is to lift her knees fully up here, what this does, it flattens that lower back spine. And this takes pressure out of the lower back as well. So as long as it's comfortable and you're able to sleep like this, we're gonna put a pillow or two pillows under the legs. So remember guys, if you are a back sleeper, we're just gonna break this down again. Make sure that your head is in neutral. It's not coming forward, it's not going back. You're supporting that natural curve of your neck. So if you have an ergonomic pillow that fits nice and snugly under this neck, drop it all the way down to the shoulders. Make sure your head's over and that curve through your neck is very supported. To flatten your lower back curve and make sure that you're not arching your back when you lay on your back all night long, stack 2 pillows up on top of each other. This is a really good way to do it. And if you're someone that has very bad chronic lower back pain, you might want to even consider getting a bolster like this. So if we remove these pillows out and put the bolster in, you can see that this is just a really comfy way and take pressure out of that lower back region. So we have broken down tummy sleepers, back sleepers. It leaves one more thing for us to break down, and that is side sleeping. Okay, so what can you see here? When we're focusing on the neck, her neck's dropping way too much. So she's gonna be sleeping if her pillow's a little too low in a side bent position all night long. This should be completely straight, the spine, from the bottom all the way up. But as you can see here, we get to here and there's a big deviation left, and that's what we don't want. As you can see here, as soon as we lift her head up too high, we've got the curve going up the other way. And it is hard if you have one pillow that is much too high. A lot of them these days allow you to take some of the stuffing out. So some of the new modern ones, some of the really cheap versions don't, but if it is a new one that allows you to take some out, just remove some and make sure that you can get someone to take a photo of your spine and see how far and how close you are getting into a neutral position here. When we supplement a bigger pillow in, you can see as we run our fingers up the spine here, there's still a little bit of a curve, so we could probably come just a little higher, but as we supplement that pillow in, it's much more of a neutral spine. There's much more straightness all the way up when we're looking directly at this position. I'm gonna show you guys a secret tip. If you are someone that doesn't want to go out and have to buy a million different types of pillows, sorry, we're gonna go one more on the smaller pillow. What you can do, a little secret trick, is to get a towel. I always do this. If you're someone that travels a lot, you're in hotel rooms, the pillows are often terrible. Find a pillow that may be a little too low for you. You can roll a towel up and you can place this under the pillow. So get a towel. I always like to, with the edge that's locked into your shoulder, do one small little roll, lock it down into the shoulder, place the pillow over the top, and then go down into position. If that isn't enough, then you can roll a towel up and try and lift it a little bit more. But rolling a towel up under the pillow is a little secret hack. It can save you money. Now, when we go down and we look at the lower back here, what's going on here? So when the knees, so some people like to go to knees stacked on top of each other, but by doing this, our hips are wider. And by having wider hips, the knees drop in. What does this do to the lower back? It introduces a little bit of side bending. Now, if you're sleeping the whole night in this stagnant position and you're a little bit side bent, it's almost like standing up all day long for 5 hours in a side bent position. One side's gonna get really short and tight, the other side's gonna get a little overstretched and may get a little eggy. So what we wanna do here is reach, once again, we've talked about this the whole video, a neutral spine. So if you're a side sleeper where your knees are bent, they're stacked on top of each other, what we can do here is place a pillow between the legs like this. And you can see straight away that this femur, so this thigh bone, is in level with the pelvis, and this flattens out the lower back. Now, the other thing is, if you're on a firm bed, this should be sufficient for you. But if you're someone that sleeps on a really soft bed, you can put this in and still look at the spine and be like, hang on, it looks like my spine's still a little side bent. So what can we do here? If your mattress is too soft, sorry, I'm gonna get this out from under you, and we're gonna lift your hips up and we're gonna place this. So just above the hips, into the QL region, and this is going to be one of a really fine small pillow, so nothing too big. And then once again, that pillow goes under the knees like this. So if you are on a very soft bed, we want to place a pillow under the QL region to the pelvis, and that's going to support, if you are on that soft bed, everything from sinking down and still being in that side bent position. So if we break down side sleeping again, what we're focusing on here is having a pillow that allows a neutral spine through the neck. Now, when we are placing the pillow under the neck, we don't want the pillow all the way up here to where you're unsupported under the curve right here. So we want the pillow to lock in all the way into the shoulder. We want the neck to stay neutral. As we go down through the spine, we want to make sure that this lower back is supported. So if you're on a soft mattress, you place a really fine small pillow under the QL, so the lower part of the trunk to the hip region. And then finally, to make sure we're not introducing side bending through the pelvis, we're placing a pillow under the knees. If you are someone in this position who a lot of us will sleep with one leg straight out and one leg over like this, once again, so now that's introducing rotation. It's the same thing as having the knees stacked. We want to make sure that in this position, you might need to get a slightly thicker pillow or just double it up like this. Okay guys, so I hope this helped you today. Remember that there are many things you can do. There are many different body shapes. There are many different types of mattresses. So make sure that you play around with things and find what works best for you. Another important thing to remember is that mattresses should be replaced every 8 to 10 years. I personally like the firmer mattresses. They're not the best with everyone, especially if you have osteoarthritis in your shoulders. So play around with this. Remember to write any questions you have in the comment section. Like, subscribe, everything above, and we'll see you next time. Big thanks to our model today.
See you guys next time. Listen to what he says.